All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello and good Monday evening, everybody. I am happy to be back on another edition of Monday Night Raw Dogg, and it's a very special edition because we have a brand new booking world champion, and he is your host for tonight. It is me, Coach, but I am also happy to be joined by my esteemed co-host, Big Daddy C.
Congratulations are in order. I wasn't on Sunday. I'm not sure if you were. I think I stopped halfway or a third of a way through watching the Sunday show. But congratulations are in order. Good coachman. Once again, it seems like the only two people that can dethrone Virgil for the booking championship are me and you. We've done it. We've done it. I think you've done it twice. And I got him off once. So yeah, I love it. I was like, if there was any person I would have wanted to really win this championship off mic, it was you. I'm like,
I appreciate that. See, I
like,
appreciate that.
I was like, I love it. I love it. I was like, I knew it was gonna come down to one of the Rumble picks. I was like, well, it was gonna come down to that women's match because I think because you was the only one that chose Liv Morgan, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So. I think once that happened, I was like, yeah, coach pretty much got this one in the bag. Because I'm like, everything else is just I think all of us had pretty much the same choices, I want to say. I think everybody picked LA Knight. And I want to say we got most of us picked Gunther. Maybe two people picked AJ. And Mike.
Yeah, he's mad. He's mad.
And I think everybody, I think what was the other? Oh yeah, Cody and Drew. I think pretty much everybody picked Drew to win. And so yeah, it pretty much came down to that Liv Morgan match, the Royal Rumble match. But yeah, man, great Monday Night Raw. I wasn't sure how the fallout was gonna be, but they definitely cooked tonight. So let's get into it.
All right, so we start out with our first segment, which is basically Braun Breaker just running into the ring and destroying everything.
Right.
Even flipping over the announce table, demanding Adam Pearce come out and talk to him, give him some retribution for how the Royal Rumble went his way. Pearce then told Breaker he would allow him to keep his job despite him being so terrible at the Royal Rumble. He even said, the last time we had a masked man, that turned out to be Austin Theory, so why don't you see if it's somebody in your group? Obviously, chaos ensued. LA Knight then came out with a chair, hit Paul and Theory, and that was that. Quick segment. Honestly, probably could have saved it for later in the show. I would have preferred maybe a Rumble winner to come out. But, it makes sense. But at the same time, it just kind of fell a little flat, in my opinion. Not a good way to start out the show for a Royal Rumble, after the big Royal Rumble. What do you think, C?
I think I didn't take too much issue with the segment. Obviously it's Braun Breaker, so anything he does, we're going to pay attention to it.
Right.
And just anything with the vision, pretty much. And you got Braun. Anytime he crashes out, it's going to be pretty pretty much a good sight to see. Then you consider how everything played out at the Rumble, him being attacked, and then everyone thinking it was that Adam Pearce screwed them over, and Adam Pearce pretty much having the security down. Now, if they really want to spice things up, have him beat beat the ever loving hell out of the security.
Yes.
If you really wanted, if you had him just go, I wanted him to just like literally run. Like when he like told him to move out the way, I thought he was literally about to like just run them all over, just start attacking them. I thought that's what was gonna happen. And I was like, man, that would have been a good spot. That would have been a good spot for him to just destroy all of them, like really go ape shit. That would have been perfect. But they didn't do it. But it's all good. Obviously we know more kind of took place later on in the night. But overall, I didn't take too much issue with it. I just would have liked to see the security guards get beat up as usual.
Hmm. Yeah, you got to give those indie wrestlers their shine when they come
Right,
out
right.
to volunteer for this.
little, little wrestlers in training action.
Yeah. All right. Well, after all that, we get to our first match, which is technically a rematch that happened a couple weeks ago before Javon Evans got injured with a concussion. So Javon Evans versus El Grande Americano. Evans still kind of selling the injuries that he sustained during the Royal Rumble. El Grande Americano just going after those injuries. Not a lot of crazy spots, which is unusual for a Javon Evans match, but I think maybe playing it safe for him this time through, especially since the last time these two faced off, he got a concussion. But um, he did a coast to coast swanton kick that actually looked pretty sweet. And then as interference came in from Bravo and Rayo, the original El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, interrupted the match, provided a distraction. Evans hit the OG cutter for the win. Um, okay match. Not a lot of chemistry there between Evans and Ludwig Kaiser. So I think this might just be a one-off match between these two now that they kind of got their rematch. But even with that, Evans is still a big star in the making. Everyone loves him. He's 21 years old. He's got plenty of time to develop chemistry with everybody. The Chad Gable's appearance as the original El Grande Americano kind of took away from the match a little bit. But with that said, a potential mask versus mask match between the El Grande Americanos, I might actually pay attention to that because I feel like that's the route that they're going to go. What do you think, C?
Yeah, I do think that's what we're getting. And honestly, I believe it or not, I wouldn't mind seeing this because if it spells the end of this whole saga, I am all for it.
Yes.
Um, so we shall see how it plays out. I just want there to be a world in which the Americanos don't exist at all. The El Grande Americanos, to be exact. Um, just want to make sure, YouTube, don't flag us for nothing, So the El Grande Americanos, the wrestlers. Um, but yeah, I'm all, I'm game for it as long as it means that this is we get towards the end of this whole thing because I'm
Mm-hmm.
over it.
All right. So we go on to our next segment, which is starts out with AJ Styles' music hitting, the crowd going crazy, only for Gunther to come out and troll the fan base. And finally, we get booing heat for Gunther, not the quiet heat. We finally get legitimate, actual heat for him. About damn time. But either way, he comes in, mocks um, the universe, the WWE universe, talks about retiring Goldberg, Cena, now AJ Styles, starts belittling Styles. That brings out Dragon Lee, who at the time, I was like, why is Dragon Lee out here? And then I had to remember, oh yeah, he was actually a tag team partner with AJ Styles. Shows how much that story landed.
Right.
That we forgot about that. Um, Dragon Lee actually surprisingly did a really good job throwing off Gunther, but then a cheap shot with the ring bell knocked Lee out. He got choked out um, on the mat, and then even got choked out while on the ropes in a very interesting spot. We won't go into full detail about, about that spot, but
We went into detail in our group chat about it. So
we did,
that's
yes.
but we
Like,
refuse to say it on YouTube because we know how they are.
let's just say the internet's having a field day with that picture already. The memes are coming out very fast. But that ended the segment. This was much better than it has been for Gunther ever since he retired Cena, because it has been more of the same, yada yada. I made him tap, yada yada. This time it actually felt like he was getting legitimate hate from the crowd, and that's what he needs. I think what is with Dragon Lee coming in makes sense now that I actually have some context behind it. Um, they're probably going to have a match or two to show off Gunther's ability to kind of stall him until his next opponent, which I'm assuming is going to be Brock Lesnar, but it could be somebody else to kind of defend the honor of AJ Styles, or maybe Penta or Rey Mysterio. Hey, you could retire Rey Mysterio. Who knows at this point? But this is just something to hold Gunther off until SummerSlam, when he faces Brock Lesnar. So, see, what do you think of the segment?
The segment itself, I thought it was the perfect way to actually show like the real heel to generate like legit heat for Gunther. It's almost like kind of how it was for Roman Reigns after he beat Undertaker. Was it
Yes,
WrestleMania 30? Was it 35?
I
I
think
forgot
so.
which one
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
34 or 35.
yeah. And so I think this is probably one of the best heats you can have after like a quote unquote retirement type of match. I guess when we thought Undertaker was pretty much wraps for him after
Mm-hmm.
the Roman match. Oh my God, I'm getting whooped. But no, I'm sorry, I'm multitasking right now. But yeah, so I think that this was perfect. Like essentially you retire two like very popular baby faces, and you consider in which the time frame in which those two baby faces were like they were literally on the same cover of a wrestling magazine together,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Cena and AJ I think Cena talked about it, or AJ talked about it in the interview, um and basically yeah, just those two have been the faces of their companies for quite some time, and I believe that for them to like go out the same way essentially by the same guy. I feel like this was one way to generate some good heat,
Mm-hmm.
from the fans, and so I think the him like coming out with the theme song as well as the pyro is what got me. The pyro, uh, the pyro was amazing. Like for him to get AJ Styles pyro and mocking him, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that added to it that much more. And so I don't know who. I know Brock. We think it's gonna be Brock, but I feel like he's probably gonna get one more person before Brock. To see Mike put Gunther versus Orton in a promotional at Mania. Um, I I don't want to see
I feel
Orton.
like that.
I don't want
I
to
feel
see
like
Orton,
that's.
man.
I feel like
I don't
that's
want to
later
see
on
it.
down the line.
I do not want to. If he retires Orton, I'm not watching. I'm not watching wrestling no more. I'm like I can't. I refuse. Like if he retires Orton, I'm done. I'm like, I'm about to boycott these motherfuckers for about a year. Like, I'm like, hey, it's certain wrestlers yeah, John Cena. I'm like, I wasn't really a John Cena person like that. AJ Styles was my dude. Like, he was my introduction to TNA. I remember watching the best of AJ Styles DVD on bootleg. My cousin had it, and like yeah, AJ. But Orton is Orton was
Mhm.
always one of he in my top three of all time, and so like my all time favorites. So like I'll hold him to a high regard. I don't need Gunther out here, retiring my favorite wrestlers, bro. So uh
Well,
I'm like,
well, the
yeah, I
comment
don't want to see
here,
it.
Orton would win the match, and I agree with that. But I think it's going to happen later on down the line. I think it's going to happen probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they save it for next year's Mania and have it Legend Killer versus
In
Career
Saudi.
Killer. Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, bro.
Hopefully, it
Oh
happens
my, he
sooner than
bet.
that.
Uh, that'll be worth. Like if he actually did retire Orton at Saudi Arabia, I would be so like I'm really boycotting wrestling if that happened. Like I can't do it. No,
He wouldn't.
like
Orton just signed a new deal, like 5 years worth. I think he's okay.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I think he's okay if he faces
All right, cause
Gunther.
I nah. Mm-mm. All right, like if it's Brock, I'm cool with Brock.
Yeah.
Like let it happen, and then if he want to continue the retirement tour, well Gunther continues the trend of retiring folks, so be it. But as
Mhm.
long as Orton ain't involved in that, I'm good.
All right, we get to our next segment, I should say. It was supposed to be a match that was unannounced. It was supposed to be the War Raiders versus uh, somebody they didn't even say. They just say the War Raiders are out here for a match. And then here comes the ruler, Oba Femi, comes out and absolutely destroys the
Just
War Raiders.
to piss off Virgil.
And my gosh, that was the best squash match I have ever seen.
It was amazing.
That was like usually squash matches in WWE, it's always like a no-name guy or somebody very low on the card, like an R-Truth or a Tozawa, to make these newcomers look good. You just set the standard high for Oba coming in, defeating not only one big guy, but two big guys. And
Hmm.
then aura framing over one of them as they're laying on the mat with the lights out and everything. Um, Man, I am so happy they did this. This was the highlight of Raw for me because that was just beautiful. What do you think, C?
Yeah, I enjoy every part of that, man. I was like, all right. We got because I was like trying to like fast forward to like where it was at present time because I was behind a little bit, and when when I saw that they was on the team, I'm like, oh okay, they about to get a little match, against somebody, and then all of a sudden I see Oba come out there, I'm like, oh shit, no, I'm like this gonna be this gonna be a squash match. What? Yeah, this is about to be a squash match, and he comes out there, destroys them, and that was it. There's no bell. No bell was rung. Nothing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So we just brought this man out here to just do some damage, and that's about it. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess they doing like a little test run to see how he plays on the main roster. I I guess, but you know, it would have been nice to. I will say, it would have been nice to see if it actually was a legit match.
Right.
uh, but I guess we'll see if he pops up on SmackDown, and who he happens to go against there. Because I don't know if they have two big superhuman guys on SmackDown. That's like not a part of a like big faction already. Because it seemed like the
Yeah.
MFTs and the Wyatt Six are the only two that have like big superhuman guys or super heavyweights,
Right.
as far as I know. But yeah, I mean, it's Oba Femi, so obviously you want to make sure you make him look great. So, um, I don't know who because they said that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were pretty much they're pretty much fighting to get him, and so it's
Hmm.
a bidding war essentially, and so we'll see how things pan out. Yeah, I think he would favor a lot better on he probably favor a lot better on SmackDown.
Hmm.
Me, Braun Strowman, no, we good. Let him stay on his cooking shows, Virgil. Let him stay on his cooking shows. Um, but no, I think SmackDown would be best for him because obviously you got Trick there already.
Hmm.
Um, you know, um, I know we do got Javon Evans on SmackDown. I mean on Monday Night Raw, so they could run it back and try to get an opportunity to go against Dirty Dom for the IC title. Um, and then obviously on SmackDown, we got the US title, people lobbying for that. So,
Hmm.
um, you know, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the first step for Oba Femi. He's going after one of those two mid card titles. And so, but overall, the segment was great. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah,
All right, we go on to our our next segment. The Bella twins came back
Pittsburgh.
and yeah, came out to the ring, said they're ready to come for the tag team championship, and that was it. Um, Honestly, this could have been sent in an email to all of us, than
Yep,
have this on TV. That was just bad. I
pre-show
had it muted.
announcement to be exact.
Yeah, I had it muted, and I could still feel how flat that promo was. Um, yeah, do we even need to go any more with this? See,
But like the how bad it is that when you got to mention like the football team, like oh yeah, this game's a Super Bowl this year. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, you talking like they like the Super Bowl they just won was like 10 years ago. Like it
right?
literally was like 2 years ago. I'm like, don't do that.
It was
I'm
literally
like,
last year.
yeah, I'm like, you're lucky that you got the response, like that the response you got from the crowd was mild. Because if this was a real rampant Philly crowd, I promise you they would have been saying some crazy shit to
Hmm.
both of them. So they got off lucky. They got off lucky. Um, I Y'all know how I feel about the Bella twins in general, especially Nikki Bella. I don't want to go too much into it, so go ahead and move on to the next segment, Coach.
All right, we go to our next match, which is Penta taking on Bronson Reed, renewing their rivalry. Um, Reed had a lot of dominance at the beginning, working over Penta because of his size and strength advantage. Wore out Penta a lot, and then it was once Penta got an opportunity, it was cut off once again by Reed, and pretty dominant performance from Bronson Reed. But as he delivers the tsunami, there is no referee to count because the when he hit the jagged edge on Penta, he accidentally knocked out the referee. So no ref to count. And then with no guy to count, they decided to give Bronson Reed a chair. And then as he did, LA Knight comes back out, hits the BFT, and escapes through the crowd. Bronson Reed then goes chasing after him, and so does the rest of the Vision. Penta won via countout. So we're going to continue the LA Knight storyline with the Vision, which totally fine with. I think
Hmm.
that's something that needs to be talked about. I think this was um, really good for Bronson Reed to show off his dominance and that it's a loss because he left the ring, not because he got pinned. But what exactly does it do for Penta? This doesn't really help him out that much. And the only thing this does is improve his win-loss record. So I'm concerned what they have in store for Penta right now, and it's especially concerning after what we saw on Unreal when Paul Heyman talks about how over Penta is and that they have a superstar, yet they have him be like that in this match. I don't know. I'm confused with how they're doing this. But what did you think of the match, C?
Yeah, the match itself was kind of, I do think it ended kind of flat. You know, I think when you've seen some of the same things over and over again, it's almost like, all right, we've been down this road before. LA Knight interfering in a match that featured a Vision member, and more often than not, those individuals that they're going against happens to be one of the luchadors. In this case, it was Penta again,
Mm-hmm.
and so um, I just feel like it would have been nice for this to end without interference, but obviously you're asking for too much at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to anything Vision related, and now that LA Knight is back, he's on his warpath to make the Vision's life a living hell. And so yeah, I just thought the match, yeah, I think we could have did without the interference, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So we go to our next.
Uh,
Oh,
See what Mike put at the bottom.
incoming six-man tag match at Mania: Seth, Penta, and Knight versus the Vision. Um, yeah, it's possible. I could see that. That's typical Triple H booking right there. So I get it. All right, we go to our next segment, which is a surprise return. Dominic Mysterio is back for the first time since December after he suffered his injury, sporting both Intercontinental and AAA Mega Championship. And I'm not going to lie, the way he was looking, it made me feel like that injury was worse and he was about to vacate both titles, but he didn't,
Mhm.
and instead introduced Liv Morgan, the Royal Rumble winner. Morgan then kind of talked about that she's not sure who to challenge. She's going to scout out her options. She's not facing Jade. So she said that she would wait to see how tonight's match goes between Raquel and Stephanie, and she calls out Raquel, but Raquel then calls out Liv for the elimination that happened during the Royal Rumble and said, "Don't come out here during my match tonight because I'm going to win all by myself." First off, the pop that Dom got was great, and Liv did a really good job controlling the crowd as always. And Raquel comes off with the sympathy once again. So now I'm curious. There's been a lot of back and forth with the Judgment Day on Liv and Dom are going to leave and they're going to be faces, but now they're teasing that Raquel is getting the short end of the stick and now she's going to be the face. So I'm curious. I'm very curious how this is going to go, and we'll get into more detail after the women's championship match. But see, what do you think of the segment as a whole?
The segment as a whole, um, it was what I expected it to be. Um, Obviously the backlash from the moment at the Rumble. Um, I thought Raquel would have been a little bit more angry. Um, but obviously after the post that WWE had on their social media of Liv Morgan
Right.
accompanied by Raquel and Roxanne FaceTiming Dirty Dom on the phone,
So
as if
stupid.
like why? Why? I'm actually I wasn't on the show last night, but I've been wanting to talk about this or Saturday night because we did a Saturday. They did a Saturday show. Why would you post a video of them being all happy gung ho about Liv winning the Rumble when Liv literally just eliminated Raquel like just moments before she won? Like, why would you do that? Like, come on, man. I see why people hate the Unreal TV show because it's like, you know, kayfabe is basically dead at this point, and now you posting this video after what we just witnessed. That was like one of the best like moments of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Liv eliminating Raquel, and you post a video of them all happy go lucky after she wins. Like, come on, man. And so now we fast forward to tonight, and Raquel is not even. She can't even be mad per se because they was just celebrating. And not to say moves change, yeah, they do, you know. But I'm just like, bruh, like, come on, man. And we know where this is going. I've seen this storyline play out before. We got people, in the same group. One wins a Royal Rumble. One is
Mm-hmm.
happens to be the champion or going after a championship. Huh? Wonder where we saw this about 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, I know. Goddamn damage control. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly where we are at again. Bailey won the Rumble. Who did she challenge? She challenges Io. Damage control turns on Bailey. This is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. We're going down that road again. Liv Morgan wins the Rumble. Yeah, she's not a face, but she's a heel and she's part of a heel group.
Mm-hmm.
And Raquel happens to be one trying to go out the championship, and she's going to be the one to get kicked out of Judgment Day. And you know that's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks. That we're having to recycle these type of storylines, but as Coach said, this is a Triple H kind of booking. And when you have you know his comrades, his yes men per se,
Mm-hmm.
just there, um, they're not going to challenge his booking, to the extent that we will want. You know, I know we saw for those that saw Unreal, there was some challenges here and there, for the whole R Truth shit, but you know, that's another topic for another day. But in regards to this specific storyline, I'm like, we know how this is gonna play out.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to she's going to challenge Stephanie Vaquer. Raquel is not going to be happy about the fact that Liv and Roxanne got involved, and obviously that's going to lead to a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel, Liv, and Stephanie Vaquer. So yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think what's going to happen is Raquel's going to win the women's elimination chamber. It's
Hmm.
going to be a kind of evolution Batista-esque. Is that she's going to win? Liv's going to say, "Oh, you can challenge for Jade and everything," and then she's just going to give the big thumbs down and say, "No, I'm coming for you and Stephanie." So I think that would be. I think that you could tell a good story with that if you do it correctly.
Okay, so all right to that. So obviously the chamber matches. So we We already got Roman and Punk. They're out the way. So that means the men's match is going to be for who's going to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
Correct. Yes.
And then on the women's side, all right, we don't know how things are going to play out with Jade. I would imagine that her way is looking is going to be her and Jordan Grace.
Mm-hmm.
We still can't rule out Bianca. I feel like we might still get Bianca. You know, I would have wanted to see her at the Rumble and win it, but I think that we got a lot of time left. So there might be a triple threat on that side of the party too. But in regards to Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer, that match. So, but you're saying with that women's match, are they like depending on who like Liv decides to challenge? Do you think like so? How does that play? So how does that play out with Raquel? Like, how does she? How do we? How do we get to the triple threat? Like,
I think the best way to do it is just have Liv do what she's doing right now and being
mm-hmm,
cocky and bragging about how she's going to be the one to bring it home.
mm-hmm,
And that, I mean, and we might as well just jump right into the championship match
right,
for this next one with Stephanie Vaquer and
mm-hmm,
Raquel Rodriguez because down the stretch, it was Liv that distracted Raquel, who came out with the title and told Raquel to use it. Stephanie then threw Raquel into a chair. Roxanne even came out to try and help, but she
oh,
got thrown
I'm
through a
my
table.
bad, Coach. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bury the lead like
No,
that.
you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
No, you're
My
good, man. You're
bad.
good.
I just realized that. But
No,
go
you're good. We're on a
ahead.
roll here. We're on a roll. It's all good. And then Stephanie then got the pin for the win in that match. So I think you build it up through that that Liv's cocky about how she is going to win the title for the Judgment Day, even though Raquel probably could have done it as well. So you're going to create that jealousy factor. Um, the match itself for the championship, not too bad. I was surprised how long it took. So that was really good for them. The props absolutely sucked tonight. Uh, the Slim Jim table didn't break all the way.
Oh man.
And then also, big thumbs down to Stephanie Vaquer's new theme music. Thanks, Def Rebel. Way to ruin another great song. Um,
I didn't realize it changed. It
yeah, I
changed.
I noticed that. I was like, this doesn't sound like her normal entrance, and it's not. It's a new song. So
They
thanks,
got
Def Rebel.
they must have got wind that Mike liked that generic ass shit, so they probably changed it. I love Stephanie Vaquer, y'all, but I'm not. Well, Mike says that that's one of the best. He claims it's the best theme in wrestling today, which I totally disagree with. Like, no. But go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Um, we then go into our main segment. It is the return of the OTC and Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns. And he talks about how he has history with Philly, good history and bad history. Talks about winning his first championship in the city. Talks about losing his last championship in the city. How he won his first Rumble in the city, and that despite the crowd cheering tonight, that wasn't what they were feeling that night he won in Philadelphia back in 2015. He then talked about uh, wondering who he should face. Should he go after the title that he helped create, or should he go after the title that he's never won? And the crowd immediately chanted for CM Punk. CM Punk then comes to the ring. As they do a face off, Punk blows by Roman Reigns, goes straight to the camera, and talks about Finn Balor, who had some choice words for Punk in an earlier promo video. Reigns gets upset, And then the back and forth began. They started taking shots at each other. Punk talking about his title reign back in 2014 said Roman had a good job with his title reign, but Punk's was better even in a shorter amount of time. Talked about how they both had Paul Heyman by their side. Basically, Punk saying that Roman learned everything from Punk because Punk brought him in to WWE. Reigns then came back and said he was the one that let Punk come back. Was that everyone came to Roman Reigns to check to make sure it was okay that they signed CM Punk. And he said that he didn't like how Punk badmouthed him on podcast episodes while he was a free agent and not working with WWE. He said he's choosing Punk just solely because he hates him and stomps off to end the show. Two things with this. Number one, Roman Reigns, great promo. Great
Yes,
promo,
indeed.
my tribal
Yes.
chief.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, I acknowledge Roman Reigns on that one. CM Punk, great job as well. We are 2 months away from WrestleMania, and I'm already excited for this match. They got me hyped up for this in just one segment, and it's probably gonna be another month before these two face off again. That's fine, but this is gonna be really, really, really good match. These two have history together. It makes sense. On the other side of the coin, if I'm Drew McIntyre, I feel like I got to be pretty pissed about how I was being talked about in this segment, basically being uh, belittled and dragged upon, saying that he wasn't good enough to beat either of those guys. And if the match that they're going to go with is correct, that they're going to have Cody Rhodes face Drew McIntyre at Mania, if I'm Cody, I'm also mad. So I feel like this is going to kind of boost these two to really tell a good story, because when both of these guys are mad and they want to prove something, they go out and do it. So I think this might be a domino effect for two great matches in at WrestleMania for both championships, because we saw it last year when Cena and Cody had a terrible WrestleMania match. They delivered at SummerSlam. So I'm thinking this is going to be the exact same thing, except Drew and Cody haven't had a match yet, besides the 3 stages of hell. But currently, I think it's going to be good. I think this might be a good WrestleMania. I'm gonna keep my hopes up, but I will be prepared to be let down again. Um, see what final thoughts on the show and the segment.
I honestly think that yeah, the promo itself was sensational. Best promo of the year so far. Um, you know, I think now as we get closer to Mania, these two we know the history, we know everything that is involved with this. I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman is gonna have some say in this whole situation. I don't know to what extent they may bring him into it, but um, I think that we're officially kicking off that road to WrestleMania, and I think every show from here on out is going to be, at least to my I would hope, it's gonna be fire.
Mm-hmm.
Promos, like surprises, everything. We don't know. We still don't know who the surprise mask guy is. So we still gotta look into that.
Right.
So we'll see how what happens with that. But in regards to tonight, um, I enjoyed everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there were some low spots, but definitely a lot more good spots than that. So that's going to wrap it up for us here at the We Book It podcast. Thank you all for tuning in and watching along with us here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content here. We have tons of shows, and on the road to WrestleMania, we will not slow down, and we will keep up giving you great contact. So until next week, I'm Coach. He's Big Daddy C. We'll see you next week on another edition of Monday Night Raw
Peace out,
Dog.
y'all.